And we say good evening, and we welcome you to this pregame show interview with head coach, Coach Dinan. Coach, it's great to have you on this pregame show.
Thanks, Austin. It's great to be here. It's great to have the opportunity to play on Friday nights.
So first thing I want to talk about is Carroll went on the road at HSE in the first game of the season, where in the end, Carroll just coming up short 14-7. HSE did play really hard in that match, but we also did as well. Then Carroll had the first home game of the season where they faced Center Grove, where we had another wall-fought battle with another good 6A school, but in that game just coming up short 35-24. But then earlier this past Friday, Carroll went to Concordia, where we just put up a monster score, 52-7. So that leads into the first question. So in the past 3 games, what are your coaching aspects of playing these hard games, hard teams, but now we have started conference play? Does your coaching aspect change as we get into the conference play?
Well, week 1 and week 2 against non-conference opponents, Hamilton Southeastern and Center Grove, very, very good football teams, state-ranked teams. I think at this point, Center Grove might be ranked number 1, depending upon the poll that you're looking at. But those are super beneficial for us. I mean, we aren't going to know how good we are, the physicality we need to play at, the speed that we need to play at, as we play in throughout the conference. And I'm not diminishing the conference. I'm not diminishing some of the opponents. But if you want to be a state champion in 6A, you've got to go through Indianapolis schools. And so that was the mindset years ago when we scheduled those big teams, and it tells us a lot. I mean, it shows what needs to be worked on. It indicates it highlights the positives of what we're doing at the same time. And so there's a lot of takeaway. As you pointed out with week 1 against HSE there, at their place, big night, great crowd, and we lose 14-7. It's tied up 7-7 at halftime, and we have opportunities. We gave them the ball on the 20-yard line at the beginning of the game for a short field score. And the same situation is with Center Grove. Again, arguably the best team in the past 10 years, in Indiana, with state championship after state championship, and it's 21-17 going in at half, and we come out in the third quarter and we've got to score. We get a stop. We kicked off to them. We get a stop, get the ball back. We had to punt. We get another stop, get the ball back. And, I don't know how many times we're going to get scoring opportunities like we had. And we had to go for it on fourth down, which was 4th and long, balls on about the 35-yard line. And so, we didn't score. We didn't capitalize. But, again, 2 great tests. And, as you said, we roll into the conference now. We opened up with Concordia and, looking to play Bishop Dwenger on Friday night. And, we're just looking to capitalize on our experience, on what the kids have learned and the development that we have seen.
Based on your experience, what qualities does someone need to lead the football team?
I think that, first of all, you have to be compassionate about the individuals that are in the situation, that they're in, playing football, a physical game. You've got to be organized. I think that with 150, 160 guys within our program, we have to have organization. We have to have discipline. We have to have a structure, so that kids understand, what they're doing, what the responsibilities are from minute to minute. We can't have downtime. We've got to be efficient with our time. And that goes along with, you have to have football knowledge. You have to be able to utilize your experiences within the game to be able to put people in the best positions and surround yourself with great people. And those characteristics are what I've tried to do, surround myself with great people within the program, let the players know that we love them all the time, treat them with respect, and just trying to, build a culture that sustains, over time, and the winning will take care of itself.
What is your method for creating new strategies in a game if we are, for instance, like down in a game?
Yeah, so we're going to always utilize the strength of our players. I learned a long time ago it's not about plays, it's about players. And you got to get the ball to the players. You got to get the ball in the hands of the guys that can make plays. And we do a lot of discussion on the sidelines. We do a lot of talk at halftime. And all positive and negative. What's working, what do we need to improve on, both offensively and defensively. And throughout the week we watch a lot of film, dive into the semantics of the other team, of what we're doing as well. And so it is to capitalize on what we're doing well, what do we need to improve on, and those conversations continue throughout the game.
What is some advice that you would give for future Carroll players that want to play?
Yeah, the big deal is that, you have to commit to something, whether it be football or marching band or show choir or track and field, whatever it is. Find that niche that you enjoy, find that passion that you have in life and involve in it, and get involved in it and work towards being a great teammate. That's what we have the pleasure of within the football program. We've got a bunch of great kids that are great teammates. We've got a great culture, a great locker room, and the aspects of the players playing together and understanding each other, is super. And so, if you're talking specifically about football, play the game. Play the game as a young guy, whether you're starting flag football, or you're starting our youth league and Charger youth football. And then in the middle school, play the game, continue to love the game, and invest in it, and it doesn't take a ton of training, outside of what we're doing here on the field. And, just be a great teammate and be a great player.
Thank you, Coach, for joining me as this pregame show interview. Your varsity contest is coming up shortly.